Coming up, stuff is being poked, there's a hole on the back, lots of satisfying before and after, and I clipped my Nike. Hello and welcome back to part 14 of Project Chicago. We're on the mission to cosmetically refresh this formerly cheap Alpina B7, mint out the interior, and make sure every single button and option that this car has works as it did on the day it left the factory. All of this is coming up in this episode. Mañana, a dent guy is coming by to remove all of the dents from this car with the method called paintless dent removal. I'll explain exactly how that works once he starts working on the car. But right now I want to clean up the paint a little bit with paint prep from Gion, and then I can circle all of the dents that I see and find, and that way we don't miss anything, and hopefully he can remove all of them. Doesn't matter if I scratch the paint, it needs to be paint corrected. I have a special pen here called car marker, meant to be used to mark stuff on the paint because it's easily removable after. There's a big one here, big one here, here. Hopefully you can see on camera, but there's a big dent over there. Then underneath, it's a really tiny one that you can barely notice, but I'm marking everything I see, so whatever he can remove and make it perfect, he can do so. One there, there, and then here, these are the two spots that I'm concerned about the most. This here is thick metal, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pull this out. And then there's like a big line here that also needs to be pulled out. Hopefully he can sort it out, or at least make it a lot better than it is right now. There's a tiny one here as well. The hood is clean, Bruda. Not a single dent on the roof. Not as bad as I thought. We have 4 panels on this side, mostly the doors, and then one small dent over there and one on the quarter panel. On this side, just the doors, which is honestly not too bad for 14-year-old paint. And I marked pretty much every single imperfection that I could see, and you can barely even see them in person, let alone on camera. But whatever he can remove, I'm gonna let him and just make the car as perfect as possible. As the name suggests, PDR is a technique of removing dents from the paint of the car by straightening the metal back into its original shape. There are several methods used to achieve that, and one of them you can see here, where the panel is accessed from behind, and with long rods, the metal is massaged back into place. Here, special hot glue is used in combination with a slide hammer to pull out the dent. If the dent is pulled out too far, like it is here, a knockdown/tap down pen is used to make it level. The guy doing the work has been doing PDR for the last 10-15 years, and it's the same person that removed dents on Project Dubai, so I trust him with this delicate work. Depending on the shape of the dent, the car itself, the thickness of the metal, if the paint is original, etc., some dents are easier to remove and some require more persuasion. As expected, this dent here is not going to come out easily. Glue and slide hammer stood no chance as the metal is far too thick in this area. He drilled a small hole from behind so he could use the rods to push it out, and that did the trick. The PDR guy left and he did a splendid job. Really good job. There was one small dent here, completely gone. We had 3 dents here and they are gone. Unnoticeable, like they were never there. 3 here, same story, completely gone. Then this dent here, I knew it was going to be difficult because the metal is really thick here. And then we had a line that started from here all the way to the end of the door. And it was tricky, but he got it to about 90–95% perfect. You can still see it under certain angles, but I'm super happy with this because once the car is lowered on the ground, you polish all of this, you're not going to be able to notice it. We did have to drill a hole from the back so he can get his tools in there. Otherwise, just with the glue and pulling it out this way, there was no chance. The metal was way too thick. So I need to touch that up and put a rubber cap, but I'm just really happy how it turned out because I don't have to paint this quarter panel or the door. Fantastic job. This side, spot on as well. Not a single dent left. We had a few here, 3 over there. He removed all of them. Super happy with the job. It cost me 250 euros to do these panels, but I gave him 300 because he did a really good job on that side over there, especially with that big dent. And the rest of the car, not a single dent anywhere else. The hood, the trunk, the roof, everything is dent free. So we are one step closer to making this exterior mint. The next step is, of course, paint correction. Now you're gonna reinstall the vapor barrier and the sunshades, clean the surface. I gotta say, I really love this design for the vapor barrier. Really functional, serviceable. There. Engineering marvel going back in. Slide it in here. Now you can see them in action. Look at that. I'm really impressed and I really like this type of engineering. It's very clever and functional. 200,000 kilometers, 15 years later, still working perfectly fine. And I removed it, didn't break anything, put it back together, didn't break anything, still working absolutely fine. Good job, BMW, good job. The next step for the interior, remove the seats, clean the leather, remove the broken plastic bits here and there, then remove the entire wood trim because I have a new set, remove the steering wheel, have a different one, and then we're just gonna start cleaning everything. Scrub the carpets, the dashboard, all of the small things, make it really clean, and then we're gonna start putting it back together. There should be some cables underneath. The seats are heated. Yep. Unplug that. Ooh, McDonald's sticker. My Happy Meal. Generic floor mats. I bought original Alpina ones. Now we're gonna remove the steering wheel, and I hate this thing passionately. I despise it because to me this is one of the ugliest steering wheels in the world the BMW ever made. And this steering wheel is a prime example of Alpina cost cutting and poor styling choices. This doesn't even belong in the E65. It is a base E60 steering wheel, the same one they used in Alpina B5, and instead of developing a proper one for the E65, they just used the same one. Now I'll admit, E65 steering wheels are pretty ugly, the 3-spoke, 4-spoke, none of them look good. But if you're gonna use E60 steering wheel, why not use a good one? They have beautiful 3-spoke sport steering wheels. So you're gonna do exactly that. I already prepared one over there. I'm gonna show you that at the later stage, but now we're gonna remove this ugly looking thing. There's a hole on the back, right about there. Push on the spring, and the airbag is gonna pop. I did disconnect the battery. This design here, I mean, I hate a lot of stuff, but this one in particular, I hate so much. Get out of here. Roll the seat backwards. Oh, wow! We found some treasures here. Thank you for celebrating Brenda's 70th birthday with us. You're welcome. I think we need to remove this plastic here so we can undo the seatbelt bolt. Let's break some clips. We didn't break any clips. It's unbelievable. Lean it backwards. All right, channel your inner Batman. Y'all ready for this? I'm slipping, man. It's a good thing we don't have door panels in. Oh, we're stuck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you can do this with the door panels on. Oh, it's light. It's very light. Ouch, my feet. Oh, wow. All right, you sit there and relax. We found, what is this? $1. This will help us so much with the budget of this project. Oh, good clips, man. Good quality clips. Oh, that's good. I needed to remove that anyway. Thanks for your help. It's like a giant baby. Don't scratch the paint. Oh no. Ow. Let's take the wood trim out. Whoa, whoa! I don't know what's the dealio with these guys here. Boom! I think some sort of aftermarket alarm or whatever. We don't need that. Why would anyone put that in Alpina B7? Steal it and it breaks down around the quarter. What's the point? Give me the air vent. Air vent trim removed. Screws here. And then this one is missing all the screws. You just pull it out. I want to briefly reflect on the radio and multimedia system, which never worked since I got the car. I found that one optical cable was missing on the Logic 7 amp in the trunk, which I added, and the system and radio came back online. The speaker started working but without subwoofers as the amplifier is faulty, so I tried a spare one from Yarox which made the subwoofers work but with crackling rear speakers. These Logic 7 amps are known for going bad and causing weird issues, so I sent mine to a specialist to be repaired and upgraded along with the ASC unit. More on this in future episodes once it comes back. Now we're gonna remove the armrest and this wood trim here as well. Receipt from 2012. A free chicken sandwich. Someone had the bagel in Texas. Ooh, a credit card. Wells Fargo. Expired. No, it's good until February 2022. So close. Could have built them the whole build. So to get the armrest out, we need to remove this trim here. Should be a screw there. Then there's a clip. Slides out. And then we have screws here. Screws removed, this cover can come out. Plug that as well. And then in here we have 3 10mm nuts. More screws on the side. Look at this thing. This is the armrest in the E65. It is absolutely ridiculous the amount of engineering and designing that went into this thing. Comes out. Gotta say, I love how this car was built. Then we have 2 screws here. This trim here doesn't look great either, so we need to remove it, repaint it, and that means that the rear seats most likely need to come out as well. 2 10mm nuts on the bottom and just slide it up. And now we can get to this trim here. Take the seat out, easier to clean it as well. More soft touch garbage in here. Alright. You'd think that we are done, but no sir, we are not. As you would imagine, there's soft touch plastic here as well on the roof. Why wouldn't there be? But wait, there's more. Oh, look at that. Swivels. Blown away. And with that, the entire interior is pretty much taken apart, and I removed every single piece of plastic that has that soft rubber touch on it. And we're gonna remove that and paint that trim because that's the only way to fix it permanently. Actually, no, I just realized I missed something. We need to remove this as well. Paint that and that one over there. Yippee! Pardon my French. I just had 3 liters of water. It is so hot today. I don't know if I mentioned, but it's very hot today. What? Velcro. Yep, we're gonna do that. Jeez Louise. Look at that thing. Say hello to soft touch plastic. It can barely fit in one shot, but this is everything from the car, and all of this plastic, it's covered in that rubbery soft substance, which is beautiful when the car is brand new. It gives a nice matte finish, and when you touch it, it's soft. But as it gets old, and most of us are eagles, and when you do this, it's just super easy to scratch, and then it looks horrible. Kick panel. This is the B-pillar trim. Look at this one, super impressive. Then the kick panel in the back, B-pillar trim again. It just looks really bad. So we're gonna remove all of this crap, repaint the plastic, and it's gonna look like brand new, and it's never gonna have this issue again. Here's an example in direct sunlight. This is the original soft rubbery finish, and this is the one that I repainted. I think you'll agree that looks brilliant. This has a lovely matte finish and it won't scratch as easily. To achieve that finish, we're gonna use orange cleaner from Liquid Moly to remove that rubbery crap, carbon fiber towels, then plastic primer and matte black paint. To remove this soft touch coating, you wanna use something that's going to essentially eat it away and make it really easy to remove it, but you also don't wanna use something that's too aggressive that's going to eat the plastic itself. I tried acetone, it works really well, but it also damages the plastic, so you can't use that. And this I had in the shop and it works really well. You just spray it on, leave it to soak in, and it's gonna start eating away at that crap. I think you can also use oven cleaner or something like that. Get a brush, and it's just gonna start coming off. That's all of the rubbery crap removed, and we have bare plastic. And as this is a kick plate, it has loads of scratches in it, so if you just paint over that, you're gonna be able to see it rather easily. So you're gonna use 1000 sandpaper to flatten out those scratches, and then some fine Scotch-Brite. Finally, Scotch-Brite. Now blow it out with compressed air and then off to the paint booth. Now mask up, and first we're gonna apply plastic primer, 2 coats. And now matte black paint. Look at that finish, it already looks glorious. But since this is a kick plate and it's gonna get scratched really easily, we're gonna apply matte clear coat just as an extra layer of protection. From now on, it's pretty much the same process for everything. Remove rubbery crap, and then on plastic that's not damaged or scratched, like steering column plastic, I'm not gonna use sandpaper or Scotch-Brite. It's not needed, and I'm gonna get nicer finish if I don't scruff up the surface. So this is gonna take absolute ages, but in the end, it's gonna be worth it. Look at that. And the final piece of plastic, this is the trim for the new steering wheel. I'm sure you're all familiar with this E60M Sport or the E60M5 steering wheel trim. They always look horrible because they wear really badly. So we're going to remove this soft touch garbage and paint this trim as well. We need to remove the M badge and not damage the trim. Like that. And this needs to be disassembled completely. This button here comes off easily. There's one. And then these two you need to push out. Flat screwdriver in the corner and just push it. And it's gonna pop. So now I'm gonna use oven cleaner and clean this up. So this stuff here works better than the oven cleaner in the sense that it leaves plastic much nicer after it dissolves the soft touch stuff. But I don't have any more left, so we gotta use what we have. And that's the trim prepped. Now I'm gonna assemble the steering wheel controls, and you can put clear coat on this as well. I'm choosing not to because the finish is much nicer without it. It's more deep matte black, and if I put clear coat on it, it's gonna look sparkly, and this is still durable because we have primer underneath, and I think it's just gonna look nicer. This car doesn't have the M mode, therefore we're going with a standard button. This is where normally the M logo sits, but as this is not an M car or M package, I bought Alpina stickers, like that. Carefully place it. That will do. That will do just fine. We are finally done. What do you think? How long did this take? If you're thinking like me, half a day, day at max. Sure didn't. 3.5 days. Yep, I can't believe it myself either. But look how much plastic are we talking about here. There's a million small pieces over there as well. And for whatever reason, on some of these plastic trims, it is super difficult to remove that material, no matter what you use, unless you use something to melt the plastic. And then on some plastic, it just comes off instantly, and then you can paint it really quickly. But there were some cases where I wasn't happy how it turned out, so I sanded everything, painted again, and now, well, it's about 95, 96%. Really good. I'm not gonna call it perfect, but for something that I did in my garage, it looks really, really good. And for example, that B pillar trim, that's 700 euros each, brand new. And then the rest of the trim, all of that is really expensive. For the steering wheel, that's about 200 euros there. I mean, all of these small pieces, I reckon there's over 2,000 euros in plastic here, and now it looks brilliant. It's not gonna scuff as easily, and even if you put a deep scratch in it, you can always repaint it. I mean, look at this key panel here. That looked horrible before I painted it. That over there as well. I mean, all of this, it just looks really, really good. And bear in mind, even if it's not perfect, many of this plastic, you're not even gonna see it. For example, these two panels, they didn't turn out perfect because they were damaged. But again, that's not something you're gonna see. It lives underneath the dash, and the only part you're gonna see is this one here, and that looks perfect. Now I'm gonna leave this for 24 hours to fully dry, and then we're gonna treat it with some plastic here. Look at this mess. Who's gonna clean this up? This garbage has followed me home in my bed, and I showered and changed clothes. But some final tips, definitely test first a lot. These are my test panels. I tried different methods, different paints, primers, protection, and so on to see what wears the best, what removes the rubbery garbage the best. Oven cleaner by far works the best. It just removes that crap effortlessly. When it comes to paint, be careful which plastic primer you use. I tried another one and it was way too thick, and once you paint over it, the finish is not as nice. So this one from Colormatic works really well, and then just some standard matte black paint. Now I'm gonna clean up all of this. That's more like it, nice and clean, vacuumed and whatnot. The tabletop will never look the same though. That oven cleaner is really aggressive. Crazy what just good vacuuming can do for the interior. But of course, we're not gonna stop here. So got a carpet extractor, carpet cleaning stuff, drill brush attachments, and we're gonna scrub the complete carpet in the car. All right, now we're gonna do the final vacuum. Beautiful. Carpets look amazing, don't they? That's the nastiness we extracted from the carpets. To clean up the rest of the interior, we're gonna use glass cleaner for glass, interior detailer from Geon to clean all the surfaces inside, and cockpit care for plastic. This is going to give it nice matte finish and help it repel dust. And I don't know why people keep correcting me. I think you mean microfiber towels. I don't. Look, it says carbon fiber towels. I most certainly didn't do that myself. Got detailing brushes as well. Look at that. We have a common issue on any older car. The seat belt doesn't retract properly. There's an easy way to fix it. Take some of that carpet cleaner, spray it onto the carbon fiber, pull this out all the way, and start cleaning it. Next, silicone spray. Pull it out all the way. Rub it in. Easy as that. So we're gonna use plastic here as well, just for that extra protection. Doesn't change the finish, it's still nice and matte. And finally, the wood trim. I've been searching for months for a set of wood trim for this car, and it's impossible to find something for the E65 that's a complete set in good condition. It just doesn't exist. I ended up finding this as a right-hand drive set, which meant that this piece here and this here were different. So I went on eBay, bought those separately. 25 euro, another 25 euro. All in all, around 250 euro spent on this. This set is called American Walnut, and it actually was an option on US Alpina B7. I found some pictures online, and that's what inspired me to get it, because I think it works really well with the black interior. The old one simply didn't look that good. There's some damage in the finish, crack here, and it's just glossy, and I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I love wood trim, but this one didn't look that great. This, however, is the real deal. It's the real wood. There's no plastic over it. You can actually feel the wood underneath. The color is brilliant, and the set is in excellent condition. The biggest flaw that it has is this here, and you can actually see the wood underneath. We're gonna touch that up in a minute, but I mean, for a used wood trim set, it's in really good condition. I really got lucky here. I'm gonna show you some of these pieces up close. Look at that, real wood. I know a lot of people don't like wood trim, but I love it, especially one that looks as good as this one. Just beautiful to touch. and to look at. I went to the software store and picked up some wood paint. At least I think it's paint or lacquer or whatever. But it was the closest one I could find to matching the color of this wood. And now we're going to touch up this here and just make it less noticeable. So let's remove the ashtray. So this one opens nice and slow. The top one is a bit quicker, but it doesn't pop out. And I did open the old one, try to fix this to see if I can slow it down. No chance. There are two loaded springs in the back and you can't adjust them or anything. So that's gonna stay like that. Lovely. Start button trim. As you can see, this is the old one that's pretty beaten up. Scratches everywhere, so I bought a new one. Ask unit. This is going in temporarily. I sent another one to be refurbished, and this one has a small scratch here, and the other one doesn't. So here's the tip. Remove these clips here, and then pop them in first into the holes. Beautiful. HVAC panel. This is actually a replacement one that doesn't have any scratches. CD charger trim, as you can see, has some scratches, so I decided to replace it as well. I want this interior to look as fresh as it possibly can. Plug it in there. Okay. And now the big slab of wood. And this panel here, I forgot to buy it brand new because this one has some stupid LEDs. So I'll do that off camera in the next episode. So how do you like it? I personally think it looks stunning. Absolutely love the way it looks. It's going to completely transform this interior. The wood trim plus the steering wheel that's coming a bit later. Air vents on the B-pillar trim are pretty worn. The paint is coming off here. Just looks ugly, so I bought brand new ones. Little covers. Now that it's back in the car, it looks even better. Really nice and fresh, smooth, no scratches, no nothing. The armrest. Now you have access to a lot of screws. Oh, I think we have progress. Oh, ecstasy, Benadryl. Whoa! Need that. We need to finish these buttons here. And it's finally out. But there's the piece of wood. Put that there, and let's focus on these two buttons. As you can see, they're pretty worn, and we can't have that. I bought a spray, so we're gonna compare them to these buttons here. That's as close as I'm going to get it. Definitely not a perfect match by any means, but close enough. Plastic primer. I'm gonna hit it with matte clear coat. There we are. Definitely not a match, but a lot better than what it was. And to be honest with you, a lot of plastic trim and buttons in this car, they don't match anyway. This now looks nice and fresh. These two buttons match, these two buttons match, so all is well. Here's the bit that I touched up that had a scratch, and it looks a lot better. Not as noticeable. This armrest is a thing of beauty. Absolutely love how it was engineered, designed, how everything bolts back together. Everything just fits perfectly into its place. Clean and protected. The details are just amazing. Look, you have a metal knob that has a little bit of leather in the middle. All right, I plugged in everything. Fixing up this interior was, well, is still a lot of fun. And then these bits, and yes, I did clean them thoroughly as well. The armrest and the central console, all done. And now the leather seats, we need to clean this thoroughly and fix this bolster here. Gonna start by cleaning everything around it. First we need to vacuum the seat thoroughly. To clean the leather we're gonna use a brush, fresh carbon fiber, and Core Lock strong cleaner. Yeah. It's just a little bit dirty. Notice the massive difference. The seat is now nice and matte, looks really fresh. Like a brand new seat. While before it was all shiny, and all of that shine and stuff, that was all dirt. After cleaning, the bolster actually doesn't look too bad. A little bit of wear here, and it's the top coating that's gone. We're gonna use Core Lock leather dye. I have some leftovers from Project Cologne, Project Raleigh, and if you remember, E60 M5 has the same seat, and it had pretty much the same wear here on the edge. I just touched it up and it was completely gone. So hoping we can do the same here. So let me prep that. A little bit of alcohol first. We need to dry it first. All right, first I'm gonna do a small test spot. See if it'll blend in. Oh, sure enough. That's already a ton better. So I'll do one more pass. So I was hoping for this that I don't have to re-dye the entire bolster, but rather just touch up what needs to be touched up. Beautiful, that already looks so much better. Now it's gonna sit overnight to fully dry, and then tomorrow we're gonna apply this leather sealer, and after that some leather care products, and you're not gonna be able to tell that anything was re-dyed here. We could re-dye the whole bolster, but I don't wanna do that because it's better for it to remain in original color and just re-dye the section that needs to be re-dyed. This seat looks mint. Now we're gonna use Lexol leather conditioner. I really like it because it smells beautiful. It gives that all leather smell. And most importantly, it leaves nice matte finish. Buff it out. It's the following day, and as you can see, the conditioner is fully soaked in, and this is why I love that Lexol product. because it leaves beautiful matte finish. It's not shiny, it's not sticky, it looks like a perfectly clean seat, but it's also protected as well. And then it also smells awesome. So this seat is done. Now we're gonna finish up the bolster on the driver's seat. Now you're gonna apply leather sealer. Let that soak in for a minute, and now we can condition the rest of the seat. Seat belt buckle button. First use alcohol to clean it, and then simply take a Sharpie. We can wipe the excess off. That's the seat buckle button rejuvenated. Don't use a heat gun here. It is a stupid method. You will melt the plastic and it'll look like crap. Just do this, but make sure you have a permanent marker or simply paint it. But this is rather quick and easy. Here it is. The leather soaked in the conditioner fully and the seat looks phenomenal. It looks like a seat with, I don't know, 30, 40,000 kilometers. The finish is nice and matte. The leather is not cracked anywhere. It just looks beautiful. Pretty incredible for a 15-year-old seat with over 200,000 kilometers. The bolster turned out great. The dye blended in perfectly and you can't even tell any color difference. You can lightly see where the leather was damaged. There's nothing you can do about that, but once in the car, it's not really noticeable. And this looks a lot better than it did before. Man, the rear seat is in really good condition. We need to replace the wood trim on the door panel. First, we need to take out these buttons here. Take the ashtray out. There's a screw in here. Then we can push it from the back. And now to remove this trim piece, it's held with 2 clips here and I think 5 screws here. So we need to pop this armrest first. Oh! There you can see the screws holding the trim in place. Now just slide it this way. Now we need to clean the door panel. Put trim going in. Door panel reinstalled. The front door panel, the easiest way I'm finding to remove this armrest is to jam a screwdriver in the hole here and just push from the back. On this door panel we have the following issue: loads of scratches on this plastic trim piece here, on the corners as well, so we have to do something about it. Unfortunately, you can't buy this piece separately from the dealer, and it's not removable either. There are a couple of screws here on the front holding it in place, but it's also bonded to the door panel in the back, so I don't really want to drill that and remove it. However, we are going to paint it, and here's how mad I am. I just spent an hour and a half at the paint store going through a million paint samples because they didn't have anything off the shelf that was even close in matching. So here's what I came up with. They mixed me custom paint, and this is about as close as I'm gonna get it. It's not a perfect match, but it'll do, because these 2 plastic trims under different angles, they have different colors, because this one is slanted that way and that one is that way. So when you look at it straight ahead, this has lighter finish, this has darker finish. So it doesn't really matter if it's 100% perfect match or not. We just need to get rid of these scratches. I just painted these little covers. Let's see how well they match. Again, not 100% perfect match, but really close. No one is gonna be able to tell the difference. Well, apart you and me. I'm using the nail polish remover to remove the old paint. Pretty crazy how much time I'm spending on this. If this isn't a professional tape job, then I don't know what is. Let's hope for no wind, huh? The wind is a bastard, so we're gonna do this. Put it here. I don't know why, but I'm really excited about this. That looks mint. I mean, that honestly turned out better than I was anticipating. The glorious wood trim, and because this is from a right-hand drive car, it's in mint condition. No scratches or anything. The passenger side isn't too bad either. And now, before I forget, gotta replace this small light on the bottom of the door panel. Old versus new. That is one good looking door panel, wouldn't you agree? The seats look beautiful now, but there is one remaining issue that we need to fix. Power adjustable thigh support. It's not working, and I shouldn't be able to do this with my hand. When I press the button to adjust them, I can hear the little motor working, but nothing is happening. This is not moving. There's one gear that always breaks inside, so we need to fix it. 2 torque screws on the bottom that hold this piece in. Plug the connectors. Screws here. There's a connector that we need to unplug. Small clip here. This is the contraption. Remove the screws. 3 small screws holding the motor in. Now I need to pry up this cover. And there's our issue. Remove the motor. And that gear there is broken. Plastic fantastic. Here's the solution. A metal gear. It's never going to break. You can find this anywhere on eBay, not that expensive. I think around 20 something euros for 2 of them. We need to transfer these little bushings. Silicone grease. The motor. Engaged. And now just put it back together. Bit of grease on these gears here as well. Connect the connector. Painted plastic going in. Final vacuuming session before the seats go back in. It's in, and we didn't scratch anything. Let's see, was our repair successful? It sure was. Our freshly painted cover. Passenger seat is now fully functional as well. Brand new floor mats. These are Alpina specific. Expensive, of course, 250 euro. And look at that, it comes with a crooked Alpina logo. Otherwise, exactly the same as standard E65 floor mats. But this is annoying. Why is it not straight? Oh, there's screws in the back. So we can fix it. Those bastards, they didn't drill the holes correctly. That's why it's not straight. How is it possible that you pay so much money and they can't even get it to sit straight? That's better. All of them are like that. Yep, all of them. Let's pop them in. They feel lovely in hands. Velour. Oof, that's nice. That's really nice. There's one function on this car that I forgot to test. A subscriber recently reminded me, and that is comfort access. That is yet another typical failure point on this car. So if the car is locked and you have the key in your hand, if you pull the handle up, it should automatically unlock and let you open the door. As you can see, it's not working here. Then if the car is unlocked and you push the door handle in, it should lock it. Doesn't do that either. So this door here, comfort access, completely dead. Now let me show you the door where it's working properly. Passenger side, I have the key in my hand. Locks the doors and unlocks them as well. That's how that works. It is a really neat feature, but a very common failure point. So this is the only door where it works properly. Rear right, you can lock it, but you can't unlock it. Rear left, unlocking works, locking doesn't. So let's see if we can fix it. The common problem seems to be the wiring in the handle, so we need to remove the complete door handle. And it appears that you can remove this cover here and then remove some latch that holds the door handle and then just pull it out. So now I can get the hook in there. Do I pull or push? I'm gonna go ahead and say push, because the door handle is loose now. Look at that! That is awesome! I was super afraid that I was gonna have to take apart the rear doors again, the rear shades, the vapor barrier, all of that. But this is brilliant design! You don't have to touch the door panel. Hopefully you can see, but the wires are completely broken. So we need to extract the handle, take it apart, and reconnect these wires. We have a cricket in the shop. Please leave. Now we need to remove this pin here and this one here as well. Run! The door is open! Do I have to remove both of them? Sure do. That one there is broken, which is great. This is a hot mess, and we have 3 wires that are completely broken, so we need to resolder them. The handle is finally extracted. That's the magical handle. Now I need to try and glue the broken bits here. I got this. Speedy fix. Hardens like a rock in 7 seconds. Roughen up the surface first. Ooh, that's like water. Eee. Guess now I need to add more glue. Let's do the other one as well. Alright, let's see if that holds. Put that on the side and... Alright, so first thing we're going to do is expand this stuff here so we can put heat shrink tubing in there. Okay, that's gonna take forever. We made more space for the wires and heat shrink tubing. Yes, I know, the cricket is driving me nuts as well. Of all places, right under the table. Put this over the handle so I don't scratch it accidentally. Gonna cut this one as well because it's almost broken. Stop! That's the wires extended. I can't. I'm going home. The cricket is driving me nuts. I'm done. Okay, you win! Hopefully, by tomorrow morning, you're gone. Please be gone! The cricket has left the building. Either that or he killed himself. That bastard was loud. Anyway, let's finish this. That's it. The wires have been repaired. This seems strong, but I don't know. And the third pin back in place. Lubrication. Plug in the connectors. Honestly, whoever came up with this design should win an Oscar. This is fantastic. Every single car I worked on, you always have to take apart the complete door panel, the vapor barrier, everything to get the door handle out. But here, one small cover, pick tool, it's out in 30 seconds, 20 seconds, not even that. Soft close, still very much working. Lock it, It's working. To unlock it, it's also working, but you have to pull the handle twice, which is, I believe, not how it's supposed to work. On that one over there, I can just pull it up and it's immediately gonna open it from the first try. Update, I fixed that door handle as well. All I did was unplug it, clean the connector with electrical cleaner, plug it back in, and everything is working perfectly fine. The wires are not damaged. And now if I lock it, it locks. But this car has yet another special feature. You know the soft close? It sort of also has soft open thing, where if you just ever so slightly start pulling on the handle, it's gonna automatically pop the doors open for you. It is a very, very neat feature, which unfortunately doesn't work over there, because over here, we have to pull it twice. So first it unlocks the doors and then we can open it. If we come on the other side, this door handle, only the locking thing works. You can't unlock it. And I opened this door handle, the wiring is good. I moved that door handle, which is fully functional, to here, and everything is working fine. So this door handle is internally bad. I ordered a replacement one yesterday, so when that comes, we're gonna swap it and that should work. But this one here is working just perfectly fine. See how neat that is? So I took this door handle, put it in that door, and everything is working totally fine, even that pop-up function. And this means that we have a problem with the door lock mechanism here. It actually has two motors, one bigger one for the soft close thing, and I think the smaller one is for the pop-up function. So now I'm gonna remove this door lock mechanism, open it up, see if we can find anything out of place, and I immediately found the issue. This door lock was replaced at one point and someone installed the incorrect part. This door lock only has the soft close function. It's missing the comfort access thing. Here's the replacement door lock. This has soft close and keyless go stuff on it. You can see additional motor here and mechanism, while the old one has none of that. So now we're gonna pop this in and hopefully it fixes our issue. Soft close. Yes. Haha! Yes! Got the key here. Beautiful. It is working as intended. Man, this comfort access is phenomenal. Really, really phenomenal. You can just pull the handle and it's gonna open the door in the first try. While on D60 you have to get your hand in and then it's gonna lock the doors and then you can pull it. But this, immediately walk up to it, just pull the handle and you're good to go. But I really like this. The way it opens the doors. The doors are completely sorted now. Finally, the steering wheel. Say hello to pre-LCI E60 M5 SMG steering wheel. A very difficult steering wheel to find, and I'm going to show you why you have to go with pre-LCI on Alpina or E65. This here is LCI E60 M5 steering wheel, and this is pre-LCI E60/E65 steering wheel. As you can see, stuff on the back is different, and you cannot use this one on E65 platform, only this one. This is why I had to find a pre-LCI E60 M5 steering wheel. The cutoff date is September 2005. As you can see, I had this steering wheel redone in brand new Napa leather with Alpina stitching, green and blue. When it comes to multifunction controls, the buttons are exactly the same. Well, at least the pictures on them. And these are direct plug and play, no modification needed. Just plug in the connector here and all of these buttons are gonna work. When it comes to SMG paddles, small modification is needed. That's because they use 3 pins and Alpina steering wheel only has 2. It has these small boobs in the back for shifting gears. But because this also has illumination, it has the 3rd pin. And all you need to do here is swap some pins around on this wiring harness. I made a little schematics in case anyone else wants to do this. It's super simple, just remove the pins, pull them out, and move them into a different spot. And then once you plug them in, everything is gonna work. Upshifting, downshifting, and illumination as well. So let's put this steering wheel back together. Now we can transfer over the wiring. So the box goes in here. That's for the slip ring, so everything has its own place. So now we can plug in the Smg paddles. The mounting plate, our beautiful trim, plug in the controls. Thing of beauty, isn't it? Let's pop it in. Before I forget, let's replace this thing here. I bought a new one. I need to transfer the wood trim. Here's the brand new piece. Give it a nice good twist. Airbag with a fresh Alpina emblem on it. I'm using the LCI airbag because they're more reliable than the pre-LCI ones. The airbag connectors and pins, they're exactly the same. The only difference is the way the horn works. LCI airbag has one wire, so I had to add an extra wire here that grounds to the mounting plate here. So when you press the horn, it's gonna short on this plate here and activate the horn. The pre-LCI one has buttons here, and they are known for sticking and going bad sometimes, so I actually purchased the used one, and it doesn't work. As soon as I turn the ignition on, the horn is active all the time. One of these buttons here is sticking. So I went with this one. Connect the ground first. The horn is working. See, the buttons are fully functional. And the pedals are also working. I'll show you that later once we start the car. And the steering wheel looks amazing. This is what it should have come with from Alpina. Not that fugly base E60 steering wheel. This just feels beautiful in your hands. The other one just felt so weird. Actually can't wait to drive it now. There's a screw in the corner over there that has a small cap over it. Don't forget that. Even this is covered in soft touch plastic. Give me a minute, I gotta fix this. Here it is, beautifully repainted. And this door panel is done. And that's it. The interior is done, fully assembled. We're gonna take a closer look in a bit, but now we're going to move on to freshly refinished rims. Much like the rest of the car, the wheels were in terrible shape. The paint was chipping, they were curved all the way around, and as you'd expect for 14-year-old 21-inch wheels, all four of them were slightly bent too, but thankfully without any cracks. They were straightened out and repainted back to their original silver. The work was done by a nearby wheel repair shop, link is in the description, and they look stunning. I paid 1,400 European shillings for this service, which is a lot of money, but it's a good value for German standards, and the quality of work is top notch. I purposely went with Alpina silver paint, as with powder coating, at least in my experience, you can't achieve original finish and appearance. There are no imperfections in the finish, and I'm very satisfied with how they turned out. I can happily recommend this shop, and I'll be using them in the future again. To protect the rims, we're gonna use ceramic coating from Gion, specifically designed for rims. Those are the applicators, surface prep, and fresh carbon fiber towels. They've been sitting for a while, so first we need to dust them off. Before we can apply the ceramic coating, we need to clean and prep the surface first. I applied ceramic coating. Let's start. Now we can wipe it off. That's one done. I'm not gonna bore you with the rest. The process is exactly the same, so I'm just gonna skip to the end. Finally finished. Wheel caps. These are the old center caps where you can see that the emblem is completely worn. So I bought brand new ones. Original parts. Alpina, made in Germany. 130 euros for 4 of these. The installation is pretty simple. Spring, a washer, and a nut. Now these two can sit. How cool that the valve stem is in the middle of the rim, huh? I added a bit of tape on the back so it doesn't scratch the rim, and also to make a tighter fit, because some of these are loose when you put them on. Look at that, perfect. It's so clean now, I gotta go in commando. Gonna take me a minute to get used to this lift. All right, let me demonstrate the paddles. So we're gonna shift the drive, hit the plus. So it changes up, and this changes down. Beautiful, isn't it? Yes, changes. Vent pack 4-post lift now resides here, and we have a brand new 2-post lift over there. Don't worry, there will be a video on that soonish, I think. Perfect. Thrust arm bushings, except here we don't have enough space for the torque wrench, so we gotta go by hand. That'll do it. Five weeks of labor, cleaning, fixing, and paying attention to details has resulted in this outcome. This once raggedy interior of Project Chicago has been completely rejuvenated. Clean, tidy, and looking minty fresh, where every button and over-engineered feature that this luxury barge has now works and makes for one well-sorted E65. I'm particularly delighted with the steering wheel and wood trim. It changes the whole in-cabin experience, and it's just a lovely place to be in. With the interior checked off the list, that leaves us with the exterior. The next episode, should everything go according to plan, will be the grand finale. The paint will be detailed by Gian in Cologne. We'll take the car for a proper spin, and I'm also trying to arrange a dyno session. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this long episode, and I'll see you in the next one.